Hello friends, in today's video I'm going to discuss about modern experience in SharePoint. I'll give you a reference to this article available on Microsoft site. So the modern experience in Microsoft SharePoint is designed to be compelling, flexible and more performant. The modern experience makes it easier for anyone to create beautiful dynamic sites and pages that are mobile ready. So one of the biggest advantages, these are beautiful dynamic sites and are mobile ready. But what are the differences between the classic and modern experience? So we have a classic SharePoint and we have modern SharePoint. So we'll see what are the differences and how do you get about creating a modern experience for your organization. The guide is a starting point for people familiar with the classic experience in SharePoint. So this is a guide for people who are already familiar with the classic experiences in SharePoint to help you learn about the modern experience and how you can begin to take advantage of it. So you can learn about the modern experience and you can start taking advantage of it. So information architecture and hub sites. So first thing is like classic SharePoint architecture is typically built using a hierarchical system of site collection and subsites. So at the top level you have site collection, then within that you have sites and subsites. Okay, with inherited navigation, like top level site navigation can be inherited to sites and subsites, uh, as well as permissions and the site design. So whatever master page you have at the top level, you can have same master page and the page layout, etc. in the subsites. Once built, this structure can be inflexible and difficult to maintain. So it's like kind of a fixed structure. In the modern SharePoint experience, every site is a site collection. So every site which you create in a SharePoint Online or SharePoint Modern experience, every site is a site collection and can be associated to a hub. And this site, like all the sites, can be associated to a hub site, which is a flat collection of sites that share navigation, branding, and other elements. So it's kind of a flat structure. You can associate and disassociate the sites with the hub sites. So it's a flat collection of sites, and they can share navigation of hub site, and they can share branding of the hub sites and other elements. This type of structure is far more flexible and adaptive to the changing need of your organization. So let's say if something needs to be changed, some site needs to be moved from one hub site to another site, or let's say some from one department to other department. So all these things are uh, very easy here. The next come is after like information architecture and hub sites. Next is navigation. The most effective SharePoint sites and websites in general help visitors find what they need quickly so that they can use the information they find to make decisions. So navigation is very important in any site. Learn about what is going on, access the tools they need, or engage with colleagues to help solve a problem. The fundamental principles and good practices for site and page navigations are equally applicable for both classic and modern SharePoint architecture. So, a good navigation is important for both sites, whether it's a classic or modern SharePoint site. However, your options for implementing navigation differ based on the framework for your sites and intranet. Okay, so how you implement navigation, it's different in classic and modern. So whether you are using classic or whether you are using modern, so this approach will change. For example, the inherited navigation experience available in classic SharePoint site hierarchies, sites and subsites. Like you have top navigation or left navigation at the top site collection. You can inherit that in the sites and subsites are not available in modern. This type of hierarchy is not available in modern experience. But hubs, like hub site, provide a great way to achieve the cross-site navigation feature. So you can associate other sites with the hub sites, and they will have same navigation. So across different sites, you will have same navigation. So previously available in managed navigation. Earlier, it was available as the managed navigation in the classic SharePoint site. So previously available in managed navigation and site hierarchies in classic SharePoint. No matter which framework you are using, you can use the guidance and plan navigation to modern experience to help make good decision for navigation. So we will discuss this thing in our later videos. Then it comes to branding. In classic SharePoint experience, there is a set of default themes and site design that can require a considerable amount of customization to get them to match your organization's brand. So, like you can have your own logo, custom master page, and all those things. You can customize it in the classical side. Also, they are not very responsive, but those are not very responsive, making the experience on different devices inconsistent. So it's like not responsive. So it may look good on the desktop or laptop, but it may not look good on the mobile phones. Most site branding requires the use of custom master pages and alternate CSS configuration. So all these branding etc. are done by custom master pages in the custom SharePoint site. SharePoint includes an updated set of default site themes and site designs or templates that are responsive and look great on any device. And with site themes, you can customize your site logos and colors to match your brand. Okay, so now SharePoint include a set of site themes and site designs or templates that are very responsive and it looks great on all the devices. With site themes, you can customize your site logo and color. So whatever your company color and logo, you can change it, customize it using site themes. You can also align the mobile SharePoint app for your users to match your company branding. Site designs provide specific layouts and other functionalities for your site. Site designs are basically kind of layouts which you had earlier, like page layouts, etc. So site designs provide more specific layouts and other functionalities for your site. Additional branding can be achieved using custom themes or site design. If you want to do additional branding, you can use custom themes and custom site designs without worrying about something breaking when SharePoint is updated. So it will not break even if SharePoint is updated. Next is publishing. If you have implemented publishing sites or publishing enabled sites in your organization, you know how important it is to create attractive and performant pages to distribute communication to a large number of people. So let's say you have an intranet site. Normally we use a publishing site where we have all these publishing features enabled. Okay, so it's like we need to create attractive and performant pages in those sites. In the modern experience, communication sites make it easy to create beautiful, dynamic, and performant sites and pages that are mobile ready. So earlier it was like publishing sites. Now in modern experience, we can use communication sites for building your intranets and all these kind of extranet sites, which are like looks which are dynamic, beautiful, and performant, and pages are also mobile ready. There are differences from classic publishing though, and things you will want to think about planning your move to modern experience. But there are differences, so you need to plan when you are moving from classic to this new communication site. Now, next is search. Search is an important part of any site. We want people to be able to find what they are looking for quickly and easily using search. SharePoint has both a classic and a modern search experience. So SharePoint has both the things for search experience. Microsoft Search is in SharePoint is the modern experience. So in modern experience, it is Microsoft Search. The most visible difference is that Microsoft search box is placed at the top of SharePoint. So it is normally placed at the middle top of the page in the header bar. In the header bar. Another difference is that Microsoft Search is personal and contextual. So this Microsoft Search is personal. Like if somebody is having access to that data, only that, and then it will be visible. The results you see are different from what other people see even when you search for same words. So for same words, you may search and you may see different results than other results. So it based on your access, your like what kind of access you have on the site. You will also see different results based on where you are when you search. It may also differ based on the locations. For example, searching at the root of your tenant looks across all of SharePoint. So if you are at the root of your site of your tenant and you search something, it will look across all SharePoint. Searching from a hub finds content in all sites associated to the hub. So if you are in hub site and if you're searching in the hub, so it will search content from all the sites associated with the hub. Searching from an individual site finds content on that site. And if you are in a site and searching at the site level, it will find all the content from the site. Searching from a list or library finds content in list or library. So if you are inside a list or library and then you are searching something, then it will return results only from the list or library. You will also see results before you start typing in search box. So before you're typing, you will see the results based on your previous activity and trending content in Microsoft 365. And the results update as you type. So as you type, result will update. To learn more about the Microsoft Search experience for users, use find what you need with Microsoft Search. So these articles and the Microsoft document you can see. Sharing and permissions. SharePoint continues to provide both SharePoint groups and security groups maintained by Azure Active Directory. So still SharePoint is providing SharePoint groups and security groups maintained by Azure Active Directory. Microsoft 365 also provides a third grouping option for SharePoint, Microsoft 365 groups. So now we have three kind of security, like one is SharePoint group, other is security groups in Azure Active Directory, and third one is Microsoft 365 groups. Microsoft 365 groups are similar to security groups, although Microsoft 365 groups include many additional benefits. So these M365 groups are same as security groups in Azure Active Directory, but they have some additional benefits. Microsoft 365 groups are provided a group email address and additional tools such as a group calendar, notebook, planner, and a SharePoint team site. So with every M365 group, you get a group email address, a group calendar, notebook, planner, and a SharePoint team site. Users assigned to a Microsoft 365 group may also be classified as either a group owner or a group member. So user in the group could be either a group owner or a group member in a comparison to security groups where all group members have equal access under the group. Whereas in the Azure Active Directory security groups, all group members have equal access under that group. So whatever access that group will have, same access all people will have. To learn more about the differences, benefits, and best practices for permissions and sharing in the modern experience, see sharing and permission in Share. So you can look at this link. I'll give you this link in the description box. Performance. The modern experience in SharePoint is designed to be compelling, flexible, and importantly, more performant. So it's performance wise, it is modern experience is better than the classic experience. Both SharePoint performance as a whole and the performance of individual SharePoint components such as search, list, and document libraries are affected by many factors. So what it's saying is like performance of a whole site as well as individual components such as search, list, and document libraries all are improved, all of which contribute to the decisive performance metric perceived end user latency or the speed with which pages are rendered in the client browser. So performance-wise, modern is better than classic. Multilingual. Classic SharePoint publishing sites can use a feature called variations. So in classic SharePoint site, we are using variations to create a site that supports multiple languages. So you have a site in English, then French, then German, then other languages. So you can use variations in classic sites. Modern communication sites leverage a multilingual experience to make content in your intranet sites available in multiple languages. So in modern communication sites, leverage a multilingual experience to make content in your internet site. So their user interface elements like site navigation, site title, and site description can be shown in the user's preferred language. So all these things could be shown in the user's preferred language. Additionally, you can provide pages and news posts on communication site that you translate and that are shown in the user's preferred language. So for the pages and news posts, you can translate it and then it will be shown in the user's preferred language, whatever language user is using. One of the most important differences in modern experience is that unlike the variations feature which create a separate subsite for each language, The modern multilingual experience create a corresponding page in the same site, but in a language specific folder in the site pages library. So in the modern experience, so in the older version like classical SharePoint, for each version we had a separate subsite for each language. Okay, but in modern SharePoint, we have a page for corresponding language. So if let's say we have page in French, so there will be a corresponding page. It's not going to create a subsite for French language or some other language, but it will create another page for that language for and it will be in language specific folder. So let's say FR is for French, so that kind of folder will be created in site pages library. So in site page library, you can have multiple folders for different languages. So this is it for modern SharePoint. So you can see the differences: information architecture and hub sites, navigation, branding, publishing, search, sharing and permissions, performance, and multilingual. So when you are like moving from classic to modern SharePoint, so you have to consider all these factors. So that's it for today. We will discuss more on these modern sites in our next videos. Thank you.